Hello. Okay, we shall now continue with the introduction. But before that, let me remind you of something. That is the next paragraph, beginning with the words, "The poem is about 3 generations of women." Now, this paragraph is not based on the poem that you have to study, that is Breaking Silence. So, please skip this paragraph. Please ignore this paragraph, only this paragraph. Okay, so we'll go to the last paragraph of the introduction. So I'm continuing with the last paragraph. Breaking Silence speaks of the appreciation and admiration a daughter has for her mother as she testifies against wartime injustices. Janice Mirikitani expresses the brutality of how the Japanese Americans were treated. The poem puts an emphasis on the protocol of internment and a dialogue with the commissioner. The power of silence that Mirikitani describes in the poem shows sorrow and frustration. Silence was the only way they could express their ideas and thoughts. Janice Mirikitani concentrates on her mother's pain, how she grew up with that pain, and what it all represents. She writes expressing the political agenda, speaks out against people of color, violence, and containment her mother went through. So, as I said in the first lesson on the poem Breaking Silence, that is in the voice clip that I had posted, this poem contains the testimony given by her mother before the commission that was constituted to inquire into this internment experience of the Japanese Americans during the Second World War. So the author tries to express this particular experience, focusing on the brutality and inhumanity reflected in the entire internment experience. Through the experience of her mother, through her dialogues, through her conversation with the commissioner, Mirikitani tries to show how the Japanese Americans were made to internalize this feeling that silence was absolutely necessary for them. They had to remain silent as they did not possess the power to retaliate. They were powerless and helpless. So, such feelings of frustration and sorrow, based on the very first-hand experience of her own mother, get reflected in the poem. And through her mother's testimony, Mirikitani emphasizes strong feelings of injustice, pain, agony, and frustration experienced by the Japanese Americans. So she expresses her wish. She tries to speak on behalf of the entire Japanese American community. She tries to express their desire to be heard, their desire to express themselves, and their strong wish to speak against any form of violence, containment, and injustice. So, with this, we come to the end of the introduction. As I said earlier, there is one paragraph which is not part of this poem. So I hope you will remember that point, and I hope the details that we had discussed in the course of this lesson have been clear to you. So we shall stop for now. We shall continue with the poem in the next class. So thank you.